Okay, welcome back. I hope you're having as much fun as I am with recursion. I love recursion. I think it's a great tool and a lot of fun to play with. So this is our stack from our factorial problem, and this is a really important way to understand recursion and the way that it works within the computer. And so we're going to go through this step by step again, just so you understand how this is working within the computer. Okay, so we have our stack, which is a space of memory in our computer, and we're going to solve for factorial 4 using recursion. Okay, so we're going to execute factorial 4, and we're going to just set aside some space required to solve for factorial 4. Okay. Well, in order to do that, we also have to solve for factorial of 3. Okay, so the next step would be to set aside space for factorial of 3. And then we're going to do the same thing for factorial of 2. We're going to set aside space for factorial of 2, factorial of 1, and factorial of 0. So we've reached our base case here, right? So now what we're going to start doing is popping everything off of the stack, okay? So we're going to return 1, which is factorial of 0, and that's what our base case is, n equals 1. So we're going to turn 1, but then we need to multiply 1 by 1. So you can see in that step 5, we're returning 1 back to the problem before it, which is return 1 times factorial of 0, which is 1. So we're going to return 1 times 1, which is 1. Okay. So we're going to pop that off the stack, and then we're going to return 1 to the previous equation, which is return 2 times factorial of 1. And we know that factorial of 1 is going to be 1 because of the previous equation. So now 2 times 1 is 2. So we're going to pop that one off the stack. We're going to return 2 back to the previous problem, and we're going to solve for 3 times 2 now, because we now know that factorial of 2 is 2. So we're going to return 3 times 2 would be 6. Return 6 to the previous problem. So we're going to multiply 4 times 6, and we're going to return 24 and pop that off the stack. So you can kind of see the progression here through the stack. We have to create space for factorial 4, create space for factorial of 3, and I encourage you to even kind of keep track of this, maybe on a piece of paper at first, so you can kind of think about it in your head and how it's working. And so you're creating space in your computer memory for each of these equations. And then once you hit your base case, now you need to pop each of those off of the stack until you find your final answer for the equation. So this is where I'm going to go ahead and stop the video, and we're going to start back up with some other examples, and then we're going to finish off with some more challenging examples, but we're not really going to focus on those this semester. I just want to give you a little preview of what's to come. Okay.